Week 2 of PEC play has arrived in the form of some Monday Night Rocket League. It's the Syracuse Orange and their captain Gababy hunting for the first win of the season, but it's going to be a tall task. They're facing defending Rocket League champions Boise State Broncos, who've started the year 1-0 with a win over Nebraska. I'm with my good friend Jack Elliott, Rowan Mastrangelo. Very excited for tonight's contest, Jack.
Yeah, Rowan, this is going to be a great one, I think, between these two teams. Boise is an absolute Rocket League powerhouse. The way that they played in Week 1 was incredible. We'll get to that later. But I think Syracuse can surprise some people tonight. I think they can put up a good showing.
Syracuse, we saw them fall to Michigan State in Week 1 of PEC play at the PEC kickoff event right here in the Shine Gaming and Esports Center. A unbelievable event. A lot of people, a lot of lights and fun. But something that wasn't so fun was the Syracuse loss. It was 3-1 to the Spartans. What did you like? What did you dislike out of the Orange play?
Rowan, they seemed like a team who was still trying to find their groove, trying to gel with each other, if that makes sense. These players haven't played with each other for very long, just 3 months. Teams like Boise, who have played with each other for multiple years now, it's difficult to compete with that when you don't have that same chemistry. But I think we're going to see a massively improved Orange team this week, Rowan. They've had a week now to keep playing together, or more than a week. That was last Sunday, so a week and a day. And they've played with each other. I was just talking to Gababy. They've gotten to, play in some more competitive events, try and figure out each other, where they're at. Another week of coaching from their two coaches. I think we're going to see a much improved Orange team tonight. The
trio of Preston, Woozy, and Durtho for Boise State. That's a sophomore, and a junior. They've been playing together for well over a year, like Jack said. But the SU trio of Gababy, Lesser, and Tiz, they've known each other for almost 4 or 5 years now, but they've only started playing Rocket League competitively for a few months, really, since June or July this summer. And they saw some success over the summer, but once you enter PEC play with these real juggernauts like Michigan State and Boise State, it's really a different story. Boise State went on to win the PEC kickoff weekend with wins over Nebraska and Michigan State, a 3-0 sweep in the final. What can we expect out of the Broncos today, Jack?
Yeah, Rowan. So it seemed like Syracuse kind of got picked apart a little bit last week.
By Michigan State?
By Michigan State. Michigan State played fantastically. They were great all night. And then they were demolished by Boise State.
They were.
It wasn't even close. They got shut out. They had 2 goals total over the 3 games. They got shut out in the last game. And it never felt like anything was really falling in Michigan State's favor at all. They were completely dominated the entire time. We're going to see an excellent Boise State team tonight, and it's going to be a difficult task for the Orange.
This squad is incredibly well balanced in all major stats: shots, goals, assists, saves. Not one Boise State Bronco has more than 50% of the share. They're a very well balanced team, well assembled, and that's credit to both their skill and the skill of the management to assemble this team. Pivoting, if Syracuse loses this game, they'll go down 0-2. Joey Gariziak, before the year started, said he wants to put an emphasis on winning and that he's, quote, tired of losing, specifically to teams like Michigan State and Boise State, who have shown dominance throughout this PEC play this year, of course, but also last year with multiple wins in various games in the PEC Championship in Las Vegas in April. If Syracuse goes down 0-2 with a loss to Boise State tonight, what does that mean for the season?
If I'm being honest, Rowan, not a whole lot. And that may be a hot take. And that's something that many people out there probably would not agree with me on. But it's just a testament to the strength of schedule that Syracuse has had to play so far. These are the top 2 teams. These were the top 2 teams in the preseason coaches poll. So I don't think that, if they can play well, if they can snag some goals, maybe even take a game off Boise, that is incredibly successful. Of course, these players play under no pressure. They think that they can go out there and win this game. But I don't think that a loss here is the end of the world.
A lot of these guys have RLCS experience. They let losses like this slide right off their back. We've seen it in games like Smash, like Overwatch, with professional experience. A lot of these players in Rocket League is no different. A good percentage of the Syracuse roster does have competitive experience where money's on the line. I'm not too worried as well. I think that's pretty fair assessment. As we fly over the beautiful Champions Field, the audience of eggs ready for this PEC showdown.
I would love to sit in the audience just one time.
I would love to be amongst the eggs.
Yeah.
Be fantastic.
I'd love to chat it up with them, find out what they do like at home.
Yeah.
Do they have homes, or do they just sit in the stadium all day?
Right. Do they have jobs? They have to go to work and
I
stuff?
wonder, because they got to pay for their tickets.
You think it's a charged price?
I would assume so. If you're watching a premium product like Rocket League Live, it's probably fairly expensive. Rowan, something I want to talk about is the way that Boise State plays the game.
Not the eggs.
No, I don't really want to talk about the eggs anymore.
That's okay.
I could tell that you really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
but
it's fine,
I want to talk. I want to talk about the eggs.
Yeah, just your show. Go ahead.
I want to talk about. I want to talk about the way that Boise State plays the game, because they are. It feels like head and shoulders above anybody else. It feels like they're reading each other's minds. They're interlinked when they're on the field. They pass the ball at a level, in the air, on the ground, that I don't think anybody else in the PEC does. Right. They leave the ball for each other. If they think somebody else has a better shot, they'll communicate it so quickly, leave the ball, let somebody else get a shot, and they are aggressive. They often double commit to balls, and you don't notice it really in the moment, because it's like, one of them hit it,
right?
But they double commit quite a bit, and they got one guy back, and it doesn't really matter because of how technically advanced they are, that they've double committed to this ball. They've sent two men to the same area because, they're covered. They're covered. And that aggressive style of play can feel like a blanket on opponents.
They are an aggressive team, and Syracuse fell to a similar aggressive team in Michigan State. So when they face a team with a similar play style, it's going to be tricky. I'm sure it's something they harped over, of how to deal with those types of offenses that rely on pressure and up-tempo. Syracuse, in the PEC kickoff event against Michigan State, they saved 23 shots on net. Now, that sounds like a lot, but is that exactly a testament to being lockdown defenders, or a quantity of shots that went towards their net?
I think in Rocket League, you want to be letting up less shots, Rowan. And when you're saving those shots, that's great. But eventually, some of them are going to find their way in, and you're going to start to leak goals, as they did against Michigan State. I think if you're Syracuse, you want to say, okay, we don't want to be giving up shots in the first place. We want to win the 50s that lead to shots, as opposed to losing them and having to get back and make an acrobatic save.
Boise State 3-0 against both teams in the PEC. What can you expect against the Orange today, Jack?
Rowan, this team is fantastic.
Boise State, that is.
Yeah, Boise State is fantastic from top to bottom, from the coaching, from the esports program as a whole. Nothing but respect for those guys. They are well coached, methodical. It's like a machine.
Your prediction?
I'm going to say 3-1 to Boise State.
Understood.
How about you?
I'll agree with you 3-1. I'm a little hesitant on that one, just because of how dominant Boise has been for not just the last week and change, but the entire year going up to it. They have the same roster. These guys have only synergized more and gotten a better feel for each other. So it's hard to give the Orange that game after seeing what they did to an aggressive team that is more like a 1B to the 1A that are the Broncos. But I'll give them a 3-1 in hopes that they can show up and show out, and that they've done the proper prep, which I assume they have. They're working with some of the best in Flow State and Kamikaze, who just joined the Syracuse family a little over 2 or 3 weeks ago. What can you say to those guys, working with talent like that?
That's kind of what I was talking about with how quickly the Orange are going to improve from here on out. Kamikaze joined, as you said, 2 or 3 weeks ago. They have now had another 50% of the time that they had before that with their coach, who is very mechanically based and is going to help with things like winning those 50s against these aggressive, quick teams. That's going to add a wealth of skill to this Syracuse roster. I think that's going to be really important for them today. And Kamikaze, it's all about recovery. With Flow State, it's all about recovery. More of a mental coach. And Syracuse are going to get hit hard today. They're going to get punched in the mouth a few times, and you have to get back up from that. You can't let the comms slip at all. You have to keep talking to your teammates. Make sure that you aren't letting anything slip.
I find it so interesting with esports that it's really just like more conventional sports that we see with, a ball or whatever. The mental side is so real. If you drop a game, you might lose confidence in yourself, or you might start to develop bad habits or start to force shots. It's just like any conventional game. And having a coach that can ground your team mentally is so vital, but also having a coach like Kamikaze who's more focused on the game side of things. And you see that in professional sports teams. You see them have, a mental coach or a head coach that's more grounded in the mental side of things, or the complete opposite, a head coach that is calling the plays for the team, is more focused on what happens on the field. So it's just so interesting to draw comparisons from esports to conventional sports. As we move to each player on the team, I want to break down this orange lineup. It's Gababy, Lesser, and Tiz, each with very unique play styles. And that's what often leads to success on the field, is not having three guys that can go and get you 5 flip resets or 5 triple taps off the wall a game, but it's having guys that complement each other. What can you say about this orange roster? We'll pivot to the Boise State roster after.
Well, first of all, Rowan, they're 3 of the nicest guys I've ever met. They play the game the right way. They're lovely people. But also, Gababy, he's very grounded. Oh, we're headed into the game, Rowan.
Well, we'll see this orange squad of friends and athletes take on the Boise State Broncos. Week 2 of Monday Night Rocket League is underway. 10 seconds in, Durtho taking to the skies, and it's stuffed by Lesser. Now in the corner, bouncing to the center for the Broncos offense to start. Already 1 shot on net, and Tiz breaks up the second attempt. Preston tries to follow. It's Gababy in net, last line of defense. Not there in Lesser, but a clear to the corner will give the Orange some time to stall defensively.
Yeah, it seems like the Orange are super bunched up so far, Rowan. They're double committing to some balls. They're going to need to clear that up quickly.
Tiz and Lesser showcase that there with a little double commit, but Gababy pokes it to the center where Preston is ready to chase the ball on the sidewall, demolished, but Woozy with the catch tries to get past Tiz, but on the sidewall he'll take it where Preston meets him. Centered now to Gababy. Durtho gets there first. Preston with the follow. That's the first goal of the game. The Broncos strike first.
There it is, that passing, Rowan. That's exactly what they love to do. Barely even needed to think about it. Knew exactly where Preston was, fired to him, and Lesser, just got beaten at the back post.
Lesser, you're right, Lesser was in the back post, but there was just a sliver behind him that wasn't covered, and it was fired right in that zone. Beautiful shot placement by the Broncos. As we just passed the minute mark, it's Boise State 1, Syracuse 0. Durtho shot on net. Gababy's there to clear it right side. He'll follow, as will Durtho, and Tiz with a gentle touch. Awkward positioning here for both teams as Preston fires one just wide. Woozy now upstairs with a little boost and a midair 50 between Lesser and Durtho. Tiz advances the ball upfield. It's Preston defending his net off the side, a 50-50 in favor of Boise State, but Gababy keeps the offense flowing for the Orange.
They're going to need to smother Boise, hem them in if they're going to want any chance at winning this game. Keep them boost deprived all game. See where you can sneak a shot and hopefully sneak one past whoever their keeper is there at the moment, whoever's defending. I'm also noticing Tiz is doing a lot of carrying the ball forward.
Yeah, Tiz did a lot in PEC weekend as Lesser gets the Orange on board with a nice follow-up from Gababy. 1-1 ball game.
I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about, Rowan. You've got to keep them hemmed in. You've got to keep firing shots on net, and eventually you will see one sneak in. That's why having more shots go against you and getting more saves, not always a good thing.
1-1 game, approaching the 2-minute mark. Tiz was the goals leader across the 3-1 series loss in Michigan State last week. He had 3 goals, and Gababy and Lesser with 1 apiece. As Durtho, a flip reset is shut down by Gababy, and to the side corner, it's Woozy clearing. Shot on net by Preston, just wide, and Gababy will collect for the Orange. Centering opportunity for Boise State. No one in net, but also no one on the ball. Preston just late, and Lesser's there to meet him. Durtho passes left to Preston. Stuck by Gababy. Woozy with the follow-up. A ton of offensive action for Boise State, but the Orange defensive presence is on time.
Yeah, Syracuse is defending for their life right now, Rowan, and it seemed like there were miscommunications on both sides of the ball for both teams. Syracuse had some chances to clear, left the net open a couple times, but Boise was not able to capitalize.
Tiz and Woozy fighting for it in center field, and on the sidewall it's Preston. Woozy in the Orange net. Lesser clears it back to the corner where Gababy will be the next man up. A 50 with Durtho won by the Orange. Centering opportunity. Woozy gets in the way. Lesser up top. Preston beats him to it. And here's again. Woozy flip reset. Gets it past 1. Not 2 though. The Orange there again. We just passed 3 minutes in this contest. A 1-1 game. The Orange fighting well against the favored Boise State Broncos.
The play of Tiz has been so impressive this game. He is everywhere that Syracuse has needed him to be. He has been on offense carrying the ball forward. He's been in goal for crucial shots. There he is again, kind of trying to center the ball, give the Orange a chance to hem Boise in again. That's been the most impressive part of this match so far for Syracuse.
That's kind of what director Joey Gariziak, how he was describing Tiz, is he was saying he's like a glue guy to Lesser, who's more mechanical, and Gababy, who's more ground-based. He is the glue that this team needs to thrive, and we're absolutely seeing that in game one, as a shot on net is stopped by the one and only Tiz. Preston up top, he can't get to it. Orange, open net opportunity, Tiz launches, and it's saved by the Broncos as we approach the 1 minute mark.
This is coming down to it, Rowan. This is exactly what I expected to see. Is there's a shot on net from Tiz. Again, this is what I wanted to see from Syracuse. They are playing so much better, so much more together. Here comes Gababy through the air net.
Drops down, Lesser and Woozy fighting for it. Right side now drifting towards the middle. Preston finds Turtho on the sidewall, off the ceiling. Another touch, no avail. Woozy clears to the corner, and Tiz with a soft touch to Gababy, who will make this ball airborne. Not a ton of boost, but he'll follow it, kicking to the side. Preston off the wall, Turtho centering to Woozy. Here's a shot on net, just high off the crossbar, and Gababy will clear it down. 23 seconds remaining in this tied game. Gababy up top, Preston side wall, back towards midfield. Woozy off the backboard. Lesser going for the save, but he reads it incorrectly. Turtho now, Tiz meets him, a poor 50 for the Orange. Gababy sends it to the side. And now it's Lesser up for it. 1-1, 5 seconds, and we're heading to overtime. The first overtime of PEC play. 1 second, keep it alive. Next goal wins in this scenario. It's Turtho high in the air, met by Gababy. Drifting towards the Broncos side. Turtho grounds it. We're headed to overtime in game one.
Incredible play from Syracuse so far. They are going toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the country right now, and I am loving it.
It's the #1 coaches poll Boise State Broncos versus the 4-seeded Syracuse Orange. Starting on the Orange side, as many of these possessions had, but the SU defense has shown tried and true that they are comfortable. Woozy to the left wall, where it's Turtho centering pass, and to the other side, it's Lesser, now centered for Boise State. Turtho just high, Gababy and Tiz with a tank full of boost, able to collect for the Orange. 2 on 3 now with a demolition by Gababy, centered to Lesser, shot on net, just high, and Woozy gets in the way.
There's some passing going on from Syracuse. You remember how I was talking about pregame, how I love to see that. Tiz almost gets a shot away there. That is exactly what Syracuse is doing now. They are matching Boise in their passing prowess.
Lesser booms it back to the Boise side. Just too far to make a play on that one, so it's Tiz on the sideline who will come in. A double tap from him, drifting towards the net, but Turtho makes the clean save. Gababy off the back wall, centered. Boise State gets in the way, no Orange defenders back. Woozy with an open net, flying high is Tiz, who will send it off the back wall and back to midfield. Preston grounds it, Lesser charging forth. Nothing for him, but Tiz pokes it forward. Now up high, it's Gababy, and heading towards the blue net. Turtho sends it the other way. Midfield, it's Tiz launching towards the Broncos side, and Preston grounds it to the center. Turtho now towards SU territory. Gababy and Preston 50, and a demolition occurs in midfield. Lesser to the side, Tiz meets Turtho midway. Woozy upstairs now as we approach the 2 minute mark in this overtime, almost 7 cumulative minutes of Rocket League. A big boom from Preston. Gababy on the back wall, he's there to cover it. Centered to Turtho, just wide left. Tiz now on the back wall in the corner. Preston meets him there, side wall. Lesser, Woozy now centered for the Broncos, but Tiz gets in the way. Defensive flip reset, he can't quite hit it, and Turtho will continue to push the pace for the Broncos. Woozy up top, Preston with the follow. Lesser sandwiches himself in between the ball and the net. Preston now booms it towards SU. Lesser not a ton of boost to make a play. Hoops it up top. Gonna need someone to clear this out. And of course it's Tiz, the glue guy, who's been there all 7 minutes and 25 seconds of this contest. Gababy makes a great save for SU. Back to the center to Preston. To Turtho. It's Lesser who shuts it down. Back in the orange corner, Tiz and Lesser boost deprived. Woozy with a full tank, a productive 50 for Syracuse. Tiz trying to wave dash and get himself into a shot position, but he can't. Up top, it's Turtho flying high. The double tap downstairs, no good. Preston with the follow, ball moving slowly. Woozy, no good. Tiz gets in between him. Turtho now at midfield. Not a lot of boost to work with, but Gababy can relate. He's upstairs now, and Lesser will meet him. Flying towards orange. Tiz upstairs. Turtho drops down to Woozy, who takes a shot on net, and it's just overflipped by the orange defense. In 3 minutes of overtime, the Broncos finally get the go-ahead goal and take game one.
Rowan, that was insane.
Holy moly.
That was 3 minutes of high-octane, wide-open Rocket League. Both teams fighting for their life, chances at both ends, and Syracuse just unable to quite finish it.
I'm so impressed by the Orange. What a great game. 7 saves from Gababy, 5 from Lesser, and 3 from Tiz. That's a cumulative 15 from the Orange defense. And while getting a lot of shots on your net isn't exactly ideal, if you can hold down the fort, it makes it all worth it. Such an impressive display from the Orange. And of course, Boise firing on all cylinders as we knew they would pregame.
Rowan, I'm incredibly impressed with the play from SU. I'd like to say my prediction may have been right. They are standing toe-to-toe with this Broncos team right now, and I'm really glad to see it.
Wow, that was an awesome overtime. What a great way to start off this intense series between SU and BSU. We have not seen an overtime yet, and God, they're just so fun.
Yeah, both teams fighting with everything they have to stay in the game. Next goal wins it. There were some times when Boise left their goal completely open. Tiz had a wide open shot on net that he just missed the wave dash for to get in that shooting position. He could have finished the game right then and there, just millimeters off. But there were chances for both teams. Syracuse can confidently go into game 2 and say, we can win this.
What did you like out of Boise?
Boise played like themselves. They played with that passing. Their goal in regulation was as a result of that passing. But they did kind of start to get overrun by Syracuse a little bit, and Syracuse displayed some of that passing as well. And that was the most impressive thing for me for Syracuse. Besides, of course, the defending on low boost, smothered in. But Syracuse was starting to play with some of that chemistry that we see Boise play with week in, week out.
100%. You could tell that the communication was on. We spoke to Tiz before this season started, and he said if these Orange are going to fall flat, it's probably because they aren't communicating effectively. You could just tell that the communications were on there. What I loved from Syracuse was the rotations. It's something that we saw kind of slip up in the PEC game against Michigan State, but Jack, those were A1 today.
Absolutely. Even with low boost, we're going to get into game 2 here. Super excited to see what Syracuse can bring. Durtho, though, going to start off sending it towards the Syracuse goal. Great save from Lesser already.
0-0, clean slate, SU Boise State. The Broncos lead 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. Immediately pressuring the Orange side as they did all last game, but SU fared quite well. Now it's really a test of stamina if they're going to be able to do that for a potential 4 more games.
Absolutely, and Boise will kind of start to see the cracks that Syracuse has, the places that they can take advantage of, Rowan, and that's going to be difficult, especially over the course of 15 total minutes.
In center field, it's Woozy towards the Orange net, and Lesser finds an opening, but Preston quickly snatches it up. On the sidewall, it's Durtho. Flip reset towards the Orange net. Tiz, not a great angle off the car, but Gababy cleans it up. A beautiful connection.
Some classic Gababy play right there, being where you need to be at the last second.
Yeah, that was an ideal touch from Tiz, but really clutch positioning by the Orange defense to keep this game scoreless. Just over a minute in, it's Woozy on the sidewall, but Tiz keeping things towards midfield. Preston rises with no more boost, and Gababy will meet him there. Woozy, a fast shot on net, and Lesser drops down from the skies to make the save.
Perfect timing from Lesser. You can hear the whoops coming from outside for that one. That was nice, and the crowd knows it.
Yeah, good amount of people here at the Shine Gaming and Esports Center. Obviously, we saw a few hundred at PEC opening kickoff, but a good amount here to cheer on the Orange, which is always nice to see. The demo there from Tiz against Preston, and he'll come in and immediately collect the full tank and make use of it in the air. Followed by Durtho, drops it backboard, and Tiz clears to the side.
The play from Tiz continues to be spectacular, but Gababy is definitely improving, as is Lesser, both making clutch plays, double committed to a ball there, which is not what you want to see.
Right.
But they have been massively improved in this game, too, as well.
A bit jumbled spacing there. It's important to keep spacing, and maybe a potential goal there from SU, but again, still scoreless. They've been holding down the fort especially well this game, and similarity to the last contest. Lesser, Gababy, and Tiz all with over 50 boost. A good opportunity to make a defensive play, but instead it's the Broncos getting on board first.
And there it is, the Broncos right where they need to be. You know, just picked out Durtho across the field. Nobody in net for Syracuse. Can't lose the 50 there, especially in that manner.
Broncos 1, Syracuse 0. We inch closer to the halfway point of game 2. Woozy defending Lesser on the back wall. Ball drops down, and now on the left side, it's Preston who fires to Durtho. Another shot on net. Tiz is there to erase. In his own corner, it's Lesser. Going center field, pass to Gababy. Shot in the bottom left, and Preston is right there. Gababy wipes him out of oblivion. Tiz on the ceiling, drops it down to Gababy, who's met by Preston. Now on their own sidewall, Gababy with a full tank. Lesser off the side. Gababy collects it and is flying with a full pod of boost. Durtho off the sidewall. Tiz, he will get bumped, and Woozy just skies high with a shot on net, but drops down a beautiful pass to Durtho to extend this lead.
A nice little double tap off the back wall there. There's nothing really Syracuse can do. If you miss that first attempt, I mean, it's going to be right in front of the net, and as long as anybody can get there, you're cooked.
Some good ball movement and good individual play from Boise State to jump out to the biggest lead for them today. 2-0, just under 2 minutes to play in game 2. On the Boise State side, it's Lesser, and Woozy immediately booms it out. And now Tiz, and Woozy will meet him up on the ceiling. Constant pressure from the Broncos, but a whiff there gives Tiz some extra time and blues him.
Yeah, Tiz, there it is again, carrying the ball forward, knows how to make defenders miss in open space like an NFL running back with those jukes.
Woozy, failed musty flick, and Durtho meets the Orange in their own corner. Now Preston off the side, and Lesser and Woozy meet him in the air. On the ground, it's Gababy with a ton of boost, and Preston just gets in the way. Durtho now, flip reset, can't quite hit it. Lesser off of Preston, covers the back wall really nicely there. What would have been a centering pass is now an opportunity for Boise State to collect themselves. And Preston, one man to beat, can't quite get over the hood of Lesser. Off the side wall, it's Gababy, and dribbling towards the net, Tiz, 2 men to beat, and instead Woozy makes it just one quick. Preston, Lesser, 50-50. Drops it down, kind of in no man's land. Woozy fires one towards SU. Tiz makes a great play off the backboard to clear it wide.
It's getting late here, Rowan. Syracuse is going to need a goal quick if they want to be able to come back in this one. Of course, it's best of 5, so they'll have the opportunity to make a great comeback after this. But there it is! Tiz sneaks one in right when they needed it.
Such good car control from Tiz. You got to hit this real soft at a very specific angle around not only Woozy, but Preston, who is flying down from the ceiling.
That's the first time I've seen SU really hem Boise, and they did not have a lot of boost. If they had, they probably would have been able to defend that softly hit shot. But no, and that's important.
Just under 30 seconds to play here. Lesser going with a fake flip reset bump, but he can't quite get it. And the centering pass from Gababy's broken up by the Boise D. Durtho on the orange ceiling. Center field, Gababy one-on-one with Preston. Can't make the cut towards the middle, and Preston clears to the sidewall. Boise looking to ground, Orange looking to keep this ball alive, but it's the Broncos who will get their way in game 2. 2-0 lead over Syracuse in the series.
Yet again, better play from Syracuse, I'd say, even than the first match. They seemed more tapped in. The one thing that they were having trouble with was keeping Boise from breaking out of their own end. That game was back and forth, and Boise was just able to take advantage of a couple little mistakes, you know, barely even mistakes, just hairline fractures, and they will make you pay. They will make it a full-on break.
It's what they've been doing all of last year. It's what they've done at the beginning of this year, is capitalize on those little errors that frankly don't even seem like errors. It just, you know, it's not glaring anything that their opposition does all season, but they just capitalize on the smallest window of opportunity, Jack.
And just a couple opportunities Syracuse had to kind of put the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, there you can see it right now, the goal from Tiz. But there were a couple opportunities where Syracuse could have equalized or gotten one back earlier, and it just didn't quite land for them. Even early, they could have taken a lead, but Preston had some excellent positioning on that shot in that bottom left-hand corner, if you remember that, Rowan.
Really good precision. And something interesting about that last contest, Syracuse won the shot battle 8-7. Don't see that a lot.
No, and that speaks,
against an opponent like this.
Of course, and that speaks to just how solid Boise is defensively. You're going to outshoot them by more than double, I think, if you want to beat them.
Fresh slate for the Orange. They're down 2-0. They'll need a reverse sweep to take PEC Week Game 2. They currently sit 0-1 on the season with a 3-1 loss to Michigan State. And Boise sits a comfortable 1-0 after a sweep versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Tiz launches it upfield. Lesser with a redirect, and the Orange will strike first for the first time today.
There it is. That's some great passing there. Tiz picked out his teammate, saw that he had the boost advantage, the breakaway. Lesser with a real easy finish. Nobody back for Boise. Where were they?
Well, they're an aggressive team. Like we said pregame, they put a lot of priority towards offense, and SU took advantage and made the Broncos pay the price. They lead 1-0, just over 20 seconds gone in this 5-minute contest. Tiz meets Woozy on the ceiling. Opportunity for the double tap, can't quite find the angle. Off the back wall, it's Lesser, and firing bottom right, it's Baby. The Orange, 30 seconds in, up 2-0.
Wow. Defensive mistakes all over the place from Boise, and Syracuse are just responding, and they are now being the team that is playing aggressive. They know that they cannot play scared right now, Rowan.
Tiz, that glue guy. I know the goal was Baby, but the net was only open because of that bump from Tiz. He's finding ways to contribute on and off the ball as Lesser nearly slices in the third goal for the Orange, but a good save from the Boise D prevents so. Into the corner. In no man's land, it's a race to it. Baby and Durtho, but Preston comes down with it. A shot on the Orange net. Durtho trying to box Tiz out, but he can't quite get to him. An epic save from Tiz.
A little bit of a double commit there. Made a great chance for Boise, but Syracuse recovered very well.
Preston up top to Durtho. Drops it down, not in front of the net, just wide right. And Tiz and Lesser kind of jawing for possession here. But Tiz with a full tank of boost will make a play. Durtho can't get to it. Preston cleans it up. And Baby, 50 boost, gets it over Woozy, but is demolished. Tiz will try to extend the play, and Durtho intercepts. Orange with a 2-0 lead, just over a minute 30 left, or excuse me, a minute 30 surpassed in this contest here.
A great play there from Tiz, kept it from going too far at all. Lesser now going to try and make some magic. Immediately swallowed up by Preston. Durtho with a full tank of boost, tries to tap one off that back wall. No good. Lesser goes up to meet him, doesn't get it. Tiz there, of course, to make the epic save. What a player.
He's been fantastic in really every single facet. A lot of guys, they've got highlight goals, but Tiz, he's a presence everywhere. He almost got that half flip redirect towards the goal. Couldn't quite capitalize, though. Woozy on the ground. Baby meets him there. Tiz, no boost, neither Preston. He'll go for a wall pinch, but instead it just kind of centers for both teams. Woozy, a good touch, but Baby, a rocket towards Lesser, almost a speeding ticket, but Preston gets in the way.
There it is, that passing. I think that was a triple commit from Boise State. Hold on. I was going to mention the passing of Syracuse, but I think Boise State just triple committed to that ball.
They really wanted to save it, and they did. Just over halfway through the game, Syracuse with a 2-0 lead, and they're currently down 2-0 in the series. Durtho upstairs to Woozy on the ground. Flying high is Tiz. Drops in front of the net, but Durtho with no boot to make the play. Durtho met by two Orange defenders in Lesser and Tiz. It's the latter who makes the play. Preston with no boost. Flying high. Baby coming down hard. Woozy off the sidewall, and meeting it in the air is Tiz. Now it's Durtho, Tiz fighting. Baby up the sidewall. A bunch of demos here. 2-on-2. Preston saves it off the crossbar for Boise.
Incredible defensive play, and they needed something a little bit more mechanical. Baby, though, takes it off the bumper, and Syracuse are dreaming right now, Rowan.
A 3-0 lead with a minute 39 to play. Such a nice redirect from Baby. No one there to stop it. Lesser, good drop down. Just good synergy from the Orange.
They are playing, quite frankly, like Boise did last week.
Face off, just under 100 seconds to play. Durtho drops it down in the corner. Baby now finding in the sky. It's the Orange, but lots of time to gather is Boise State. They'll need about a goal every 30 seconds to tie this game up.
That's a tough ask, but if there's any team that can do it, it is this Boise team. Good little redirect from Durtho back to Woozy there. Tiz going to take it off the back wall, trying and clear it a little bit. Nobody from Boise up to meet him. Looks like someone just missed. Lesser going to take over. try and find a way to center it. Wins the 50, gets a centering pass. Tiz going up for it, knocks it down. Durtho manages to clear.
Now it's Preston up the sidewall. Enough boost for a mechanical play. But it's Orange who gets in the way. Tiz now, a shot on net, a quick one. Lesser with a faster save. Tiz downfield, 45 seconds to go in this contest.
They need a goal every 15, Rowan. That's even more difficult.
On the back wall, it's Tiz. Flip reset, but can't get a second touch. Now approaching the ball, it's Lesser in cleared territory for the Orange. A 50-50 centers to Woozy, who opts to take it up the wall and collect some more boost. Gababy meets it, sends it into a good spot for the Orange. Can't get the redirect, but Tiz is racing Preston for it, and the Orange will get to it first. Centering pass, Lesser booms it up to Bronco territory, and Preston drops it down to the side. Now racing up into Orange zone, it is Lesser pushing it back to the Broncos territory. 5 seconds to go. Syracuse nails in the coffin goal. 4-0 lead. This one's done.
Is this the dagger?
It is. It certainly is.
I think, honestly, the dagger was when they got to 30 seconds and hadn't put another one in, but that one will really, really seal the deal. They're going to play out the last 3 seconds here, but this thing's been decided for a little bit, really. Ever since that third goal, it felt like Syracuse was just in control. Ball hits the ground, and Syracuse takes game 3, Rob.
Really impressed. I'm really impressed. I mean, we both said 3-1, and I was really nervous about this game and going against a team like the Spartans, but the immediate aggression from the Orange, scoring their first goal in under 20 seconds and then matching it with the second at the 30-second mark. Just such good energy from Syracuse playing together. There's Tiz with a great save off the top crossbar. A lot of those Bronco shots weren't quite falling, and some of them were in effort to some great defensive presence from the Orange, but a lot of them were just high or just wide.
It just felt like some mistakes, unlucky, whatever you want to call it, from Boise. But Syracuse looked synergistic. They looked like they were reading each other's minds. Like I said pregame about Boise State, they looked like they were tapped in like that. And having, being able to talk to each other is so important. And this team is playing with confidence right now. Even though they lost those first 2 games, they were confidence-building games. They took Boise to town. And there, they took Boise to school.
That's right. 2-1 Boise lead over Syracuse. I always say when you're a team that has lost 1 or 2 games in a row, you kind of can forget what it feels like to win. And then once you get that inevitable win, it reminds you how good it feels and just how motivated you are to get it again. So there is potential for this win to extend for the Orange.
We're going to get into things here, Rowan. I'm super excited. I want to see what the Syracuse Orange can do, whether they can continue making this LeBron-esque comeback against these Titan Broncos.
The defending 24-25 PEC champions currently hold a 2-1 lead over the 4-seeded Orange. It's Syracuse who came away with Game 3, and now in Game 4, they're looking to do the same. In the Boise State corner, Tiz follows, but Woozy there to stop. And now in midfield, Lesser pops to Woozy. Looking to get some early offense are the Broncos, but Tiz would rather the antithesis, and that he does with a good stop.
That was, once again, incredible play from Tiz, being where he needs to be. And there it is again, no boost, being exactly where he needs to be. I love watching him play, Rowan.
He's a fun player to watch. He's fast, and most importantly, he's got high IQ. And that is what makes a player good. That's what takes a player from good to great. He's having some high IQ, and of course, Tiz, alongside the Orange roster, has got a ton of that. Lesser on his own sidewall, Preston back, but Lesser took a baby, almost back to Lesser for the give and go, but Orange can't quite get it. Durtho in his own corner. On the sidewall, it's Lesser, but he's met by Woozy. Drops it down to center field, where Gababy and Preston meet for the 50, and now up the Broncos sidewall, it's contested by both players.
There it is. There's that passing from Boise. Even their setups are all passing-based. Tiz with a great save, but they know how to recycle and make something out of it. Gababy, Syracuse whole half has full tanks of boost. That's so important. Their rotations have been so much better this series, Rowan, than they were against Michigan State, and that has honestly probably been the game changer.
They're moving well. Lesser was the saves leader in the PEC play against Michigan State with 11 of the team's 23. Then it was Tiz with 8, and it's Lesser who's creating the first flash of offense in Game 4 for Syracuse.
True, Rowan, but that's really all Gababy. What an incredible pass into Lesser. Lesser, right place, right time. The passing from Syracuse, what an improvement.
It's a good way to spot the open man, and they both got to do their job, and they absolutely did just that. The Orange look to extend their lead as we hit the 3-minute mark in Game 4. Currently lead 1-0. Gababy off the ceiling. Lesser can't redirect. And off the sidewall, Durtho will pop it towards the center for his Broncos to take care of. Preston towards the Orange net. Drops down, looks to get the redirect, but he can't do it. It's Gababy over the net, who will secure things for SU.
The way Gababy plays is so interesting. He just he's unsettling his opponents at all times. They never know quite how he's going to hit the ball because he has such a variety of tricks, especially when he's on the ground, and it makes him such a dangerous opponent. There's a huge demolition.
Really clutch. Lesser had an amazing position to follow up that center from Tiz. If the demo didn't happen, that would have been a second goal for Syracuse.
Absolutely, and we're getting tough to come back from as we are over halfway through this match now, Rowan. Tiz going to make another play here, send it up, looking for some nice aerial play. Preston trying to defend, and he does.
Good defense from both sides, as this is a very low-scoring affair so far. We saw decently high score in the first game, and then things sort of settled down in the second, and that trend has since continued on the third and fourth. Tiz sending it towards Boise State half, and Gababy and Durtho kind of pace slows down a little bit in that corner. And Preston trying to move things up for Boise, but they are briefly down a man.
That was great from Lesser to kind of stop the ball from getting back into the Syracuse half. He made a great aerial play. He got up for it about 33% of the way out of the Boise half and kept it there so that they wouldn't have any boost. Gababy knocks it down. He gets a second goal for Syracuse, though. And Syracuse are flying, looking to tie this series up.
Unprecedented, unbelievable, but certainly entertaining for Syracuse. A 2-0 lead over the Broncos, a goal from Lesser, assisted by Gababy, and now he's getting involved on the offense as well. You love to see it.
This team is so fun to watch. Excuse me. This team is so fun to watch, Rowan. They are playing so much better than they did in week 1. I told you.
I believed you. I love this team as well.
That week of preparation would be so important for these guys, and it clearly has been. This is so much fun to watch. Lesser's going to get one up in the air there, hopefully followed up. There's Tiz, just misses out on it.
Getting it out of the blue half is Preston, taking to the skies, but Tiz will keep things on the ground with another great save. Lesser with a goal today. Looking to get his second, but a shot on net stuffed by Lesser. The follow-up by Woozy, no good, thanks to Gababy. And there's the third shot on net in just over 2 seconds. But the Orange defense stands tall.
Incredible individual play there. Everybody was where they needed to be. There was no real time to rotate, but I think 2 or 3 different players made saves in that 10-second period. There's now only 20 seconds left. If they'd gotten a goal there, this would be looking very different. Instead, Syracuse can kind of sit back and relax a little bit.
The Orange with a little bit of insurance as we head to the 10-second mark. In the midfield, it's Lesser met by Preston. Ball dropping down, now Woozy's got it. Shot on net, Tiz intercepts. Demolished Boise State offensive man. 1 second, drops down in front of the net. Another shutout for Syracuse. They win 2-0, and we're going to Game 5.
Are we watching a comeback, Rowan? Feels like we may be watching something real special happen here for the Syracuse Orange. This has been incredibly fun. Let's break down that game.
The Orange came out right away, just as they did in Game 3, getting the offense going. You know, actually not right away. It took a little while. It took about 2 minutes for the first goal to find the back of the net, but then it was Gababy who found Lesser with a great pass and then a great shot. And from there, it was defense, defense, defense for the Orange. Great net minding, that amazing play where there were so many Boise shots fired on the net, but just better Orange defense. A studded showcase, a good two-way performance playing complementary Rocket League is Syracuse.
I think that's the most important thing. Not the most important thing, but one of the things I've really noticed heading through these last 2 games has been the defense for Syracuse. Their rotations have been a lot better. Their boost management has been a lot better. But they also can defend really well without any boost at all. And that is why they've shut out Boise 2 games in a row now.
Jack, we talked about pregame what it would mean if SU fell to 0-2 on the season. Right now, they have the opportunity to topple the defending champions and the currently top-seeded Broncos. What would it mean if they walked out with a win?
You are winning for your program right now. You are winning for your pride. And it would mean a fulfillment of everything that Joey Gariziak has been looking for. We are looking to beat top teams, and they are going to try and do that right here, right now. 5 minutes, 300 seconds.
Game 5 against the defending champs, Orange and Broncos. Will it be a trampling of Boise State or a sea of orange from Syracuse? 20 seconds underway, the ball starts in Orange territory. Lesser to Tiz in the sky. We're at Champs Field at night where drama happens. The most iconic Rocket League stadium. Lesser getting aggressive off ball with a demo on Durtho, and Tiz looks to push. A flip reset gets over Woozy, but not past Durtho. Both of these teams put such an emphasis on great defense, and Lesser clears left side. Preston on the sidewall. Now it's Lesser to Tiz over there in the Boise corner. And Preston with a full tank gets it over Lesser. Shot on net by Kababy. It's Woozy there to shut it down.
I don't know if the fans at home can hear it right now, but my heart is beating through my shirt, Rowan. I think there could be a drum beat being heard at home from myself.
Moving up the left hash is Boise State. Now Tiz to Lesser on the side. Flip reset, can't connect, but he gets a little 50 from Preston, which gives the Orange still some possession offensively. Durtho gets it past Tiz. Kababy drops down, but Woozy's there. Now it's just Lesser in net, and he makes the stuff. Beautiful positioning, and he converts with an Orange save.
I mean, yeah, you make 2 Orange miss, you still got to deal with a third, and they are so fundamentally sound defensively. They're creating on offense and just smothering on defense, and that is what's been most impressive to me this game.
Durtho gets his flip, and now it's dropping midfield in front of the Orange net, but Kababy booms it to the blue side. Woozy off his own back wall, drifting up the side. Tiz meets him in the air. Dropping down into clear territory for Boise State. And now a centering pass for the Broncos, but Kababy gets in the way. Preston off the side. Tiz gets a 50. Woozy advancing towards the Orange net in the air. Lesser drops it down for the Orange.
The passing has just not been inch perfect for Boise these past 3 games. They're kind of hitting it behind where they need to be. It was inch perfect literally every time week 1 against Michigan State, and it has not been quite the same.
Woozy and Kababy, a 50 goes neutral, and in the Orange corner, it's Woozy charging. Tiz gets in the way. Kababy centering to Lesser, who flicks it up with all the boosts he can, and Preston is there to shut things down for the Orange. Centering pass, no good. A ton of traffic in front of the Bronco net. And now, very quickly, it's back in Orange zone.
Kababy, a little dangerous, passing it right in front of your goal mouth, but he knew his game sense is so high. He knew there was nobody on him. You know, no man on, as you would say in physical soccer, and he knew he had time to recover a little bit.
Woozy centering pass for his Broncos. Durtho can't get it past the Orange blockade. Preston flip reset, but he doesn't get it, and Kababy launches it downfield. Tiz redirects. Durtho coming down to save it. Preston, immediate defense to offense. Woozy with a redirect just high. Kababy makes it higher, and Tiz with some more horizontal play gets it out of the Orange zone, but Preston with a productive Bronco 50. Lesser off his own back wall, centered for Boise. Durtho just high with a shot. Boy, the Orange are testing their luck here.
This is end-to-end Rocket League. This is high-octane stuff right now, Rowan. If there's one word to describe Rocket League as a whole, it's high-octane, and this is exactly that.
A double demo on both ends of the field as we approach the 1-minute mark. 4 minutes almost surpassed, and not a goal only ups the stakes for what will inevitably break this 0-0 gridlock. A minute left to play. Lesser in the air, Preston moving it upfield for Boise State. Kababy, awkward car positioning, makes a ground pinch to get this ball out of Orange territory. Woozy demoed by Kababy, but not before he pushes this to the Orange half. Durtho shot on net. Tiz gets in front of it. 40 seconds to play. Preston in the orange corner. Falling down, it's Tiz, a center for Boise. Gababy gets in front of it. Woozy up top and fighting for it. It's Lesser and Preston. The Broncos come away with it. Woozy into the orange half. 30 seconds to play. Up into the corner, it's Tiz, who's wasting some time here with 20 seconds. Flicks it past Durtho. Preston immediately meets him. Now in the orange corner, it's Lesser. Preston demos him. Durtho centering pass for Boise. Gababy gets in the way. 10 seconds to go. This ball in orange territory. Lesser with some boost. Gets it over one. Durtho makes the stop. A big send into orange territory. And it's in front of the orange net. No Broncos to clean it up. Overtime. Game 5. Next goal wins.
Are you kidding me, Rowan?
Preston shot towards the orange net, but Tiz is there to stop.
Oh, my heart is beating out of my chest right now. This is incredible.
A centering pass, but it was just too wide for Durtho to get a shot on net. Gababy sends it upfield. Preston is there to collect. Again, next goal wins, and this will be the deciding goal for the series. Woozy up his own side wall. Preston is back. Gababy there to make the save. Durtho can't quite drop it softly. And now the ball is to Tiz, who doesn't have a ton of boost. Off the sidewall, it's centered for Boise, but no one's there. Durtho, Gababy with a 50, bounces just high, and Preston's there to make the pinch save. Tiz, no boost. Gets past one, and Woozy, who had momentum but no boost, can make the play. Lesser in the corner. A pinch drifting softly towards the Bronco net. Now it's sharply dragged down. Tiz follows, a boom towards the sidewall, tries to redirect but can't, and Durtho gets it past an orange defender. Now it's moving towards Syracuse's net after just under 30 seconds in the Bronco zone. Drops down in front of the net, but Tiz prevents so. It's Gababy who will make the save. Centering pass, Gababy again gets in the way. Tiz on the sidewall, drops down, and play has slowed.
This has been end-to-end for the entirety of overtime. The game has opened up so much. Dropped down. Oh my goodness, what a save, Tiz, to keep this thing tied. Wow.
He's everywhere, but the Broncos still applying so much offensive pressure to this orange blockade. Now it's back in Bronco zone. Preston drifting towards the side. Woozy launches it towards the orange net. Gababy in his own corner, a 50 up to the skies. Here comes Lesser, decent amount of boost over Preston, back wall, Durtho clears it out. A big opportunity, but better defense. Gababy now continuing to apply aggressive pressure for the orange. Lesser with a good amount of boost gets it past Woozy. A tough display in the air there, but Tiz is able to clean it up for his brother. A shot towards the orange net. Durtho does not redirect, and Gababy reads it to perfection. Still in orange territory. Woozy in the sky. Gets the flip reset. Centering pass. Preston, 50 from Lesser. Gababy is able to just squeeze it out of the orange center. But Durtho is still lurking in that orange corner.
This has been one of the most incredible 2.5 minutes of Rocket League I've seen in my life. Now, I haven't watched a ton of professional Rocket League, Rowan, but this has been end to end to end.
And mid-air 50 between Tiz and Durtho. To the sky. Woozy. Gababy meets him. Now going towards midfield where Preston sits. Tiz with a 50 win and demo. Durtho to the corner. Lesser meets him on the sidewall. Woozy will play it off that very wall. Enough boost to make a play. Open net. It's Lesser charging. He can't get it. Woozy finds the bottom right corner. And the Boise State Broncos in overtime fashion take game 5 and the series win.
That was messy Rocket League, Rowan. For 2.5 minutes, for almost 3 minutes for both teams. There were open net shots. There were opportunities everywhere. And somebody just kept finding a way to get in front of the ball. Boise just able to break that gridlock by a tiny bit. And they took advantage of the one chance they had, that open net that Syracuse left there at the end. But an incredible display from both teams, especially Syracuse.
It was such a defensively minded final game. We didn't get a goal until overtime. All of regulation was scoreless. And, you know, you can be a fan of high-powered offense, but there's something special about two teams just locking it down and reading each other well. That drop down almost went. 2 minutes in, still nothing, and a shot on net is stopped by Gababy. We approach 220, a 50 in front of the orange net. Just such great clearance. There was always someone on the ball.
And they were defending with no boost pretty much the whole time. It felt like those boost meters were constantly empty. They just kept finding a way to get some part of their car in front of it.
We finally got to that one go-ahead goal that did it from Boise State, and the precision was great in that bottom right corner on Lesser. Was so close to get it, but just couldn't quite get to it. It was really the one error that was capitalized on in that game.
Absolutely. This does say something to me about this Syracuse team, Rowan. This team can go head-to-head with the best of the best. We didn't see it week 1 against Michigan State, but we absolutely saw it there. And if you have any doubt in your mind after that matchup that this is not a top 3 team in the PEC, then you weren't watching.
They currently sit as number 4 in the coaches poll, Syracuse, under number 3 Baylor, number 2 Michigan State, and number 1 Boise State. I'll be curious to see how that shifts, if it does at all, but what we do know definitively is that was a thriller.
I was on the edge of my seat for the entire last 3. Syracuse almost completed that reverse sweep. They got to walk out of here with their heads held high, Rowan.
They do. But they'll have to go back to the drawing board just a little bit in week 3. For week 2, it's Boise State who walks out with a 2-0 perfect record, and the Orange drop to 0-2 with losses against Michigan State in week 1, and a 3-2 series defeat against the defending champion Boise State Broncos. We'll be back at you next week on Monday for some more Rocket League, but for tonight, we're all done. A huge thank you to our production staff and all the folks here at Syracuse Esports that make this possible. Alongside Jack Elliott, I'm Rowan Mastrangelo. We'll see you tomorrow with more Syracuse Esports and next Monday for more Syracuse Rocket League.